Hello and welcome to Mad About Superheroes Cartoon Showcase. Today we're going to flash back to the totally awesome 80s to revisit one of my favorite episodes of The Transformers! More specifically, the Season 3 episode of Transformers, Dark Awakening, written by Antoni Zelwitsky, who also wrote episodes of the competing series Challenge of the GoBots. The gap between Season 2 and 3 was bridged by The Transformers the movie. The first two seasons were set in the present time 1980s, while the movie was set 20 years in the future, in the year 2005. The film featured the deaths of many characters, including Autobot leader Optimus Prime, and introduced a new cast of characters designed specifically for the film. The new characters were incorporated into the popular Hasbro toy line. Out with the old, in with the new. Beloved characters from the TV series were carelessly, unceremoniously discarded like trash because they were viewed as products and not beloved characters, which is exactly what the Transformers had become. Especially Optimus Prime, who had become as treasured a hero as Spider-Man or Superman. The Transformers the movie features young Autobot Hot Rod, who used the power of the Autobot matrix of leadership to become the new Autobot leader, Rodimus Prime. He defeats the artist formerly known as Megatron, now Galvatron, and destroyed the planet-eating Unicron. Season 3 picks up where the movie leaves off, with the Autobots now in control of Cybertron once more, working to restore their homeworld, and serving as peacekeepers for the worlds all across the galaxy. The Decepticons, meanwhile, are in exile and ruined on the world of Char, led by Galvatron. Long live Galvatron! The movie also introduces the mysterious Quintessons, who in future episodes of Season 3 are revealed to have ties to the Autobot and Decepticons' origins. I've heard that some kids were traumatized or upset by the death of Optimus Prime, but I didn't believe he was really dead, even at the ripe age of 11. I had seen other films that had killed off beloved characters, and eventually they return in one form or another. In Star Wars, Obi-Wan is struck down during a lightsaber battle by Darth Vader, and in Empire Strikes Back he returns as a Force ghost to guide Luke. Star Trek 3 resurrected Spock from his ultimate demise in the Wrath of Khan, so presumably Optimus Prime would return as well. Dark Awakening is the return of Optimus Prime before the actual return of Optimus Prime. The Autobots Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, RC, and Cup, along with their human friends Spike and his son Daniel, narrowly escaped the destruction of their spacecraft, which was blown to smithereens by the Decepticons. The Autobots' escape pod is low on life support, so they seek refuge in a mausoleum, built as a final resting place for the fallen Autobot heroes they lost in the Great War. A place Rodimus wished he'd never see again. With great dread, the Autobots walk through the hallowed halls. Daniel wanders off on his own, and the already unnerved adolescent is spooked even further by the sudden appearance of a battle-damaged Optimus Prime. Daniel runs to the Autobots to tell them that he saw their dearly departed former leader. They think his mind is playing tricks on him, but decide there's only one way to be sure. Rodimus believes that the Matrix would have told him if Optimus was truly alive, but needs to be 100% sure. They open the tomb of Optimus Prime. The tomb is empty, but this revelation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of the Decepticons. They engage their enemies in a laser battle. Galvatron transforms into cannon mode and destroys the Autobot escape pod.
At least this beats in ghosts!
Among the laser fire, RC is injured, and the Autobots are on the run and about to be overrun by Decepticon forces, but they are rescued by none other than Optimus Prime.
Decepticons! Leave this place!
Galvatron is shocked by the sudden appearance of his old nemesis and sustains an injury under the attack of Optimus Prime. The element of surprise turns the tide in the Autobots' favor, and the Decepticons retreat. The Autobots are in awe of the return of their revered former leader. Rodimus is eager to relinquish his command to Optimus, but the former Autobot leader is visibly out of sorts. Rodimus wants to reunite the Matrix with Optimus, but Ultra Magnus, the team's second in command, counsels Rodimus.
Wait, Optimus is in no condition to assume leadership.
Come on, guys, he's just shook up a little. You'd be too if you'd been dead for years.
Explanations are in order. Optimus then expresses feelings of darkness and cold and then light. They surmise maybe he was in a coma. Optimus speaks of completing a plan. The Autobots then learn that Optimus was busy building an escape ship. An overzealous Rodimus thinks that this is all the proof that he needs to establish that Optimus is fit to assume leadership once more, and he gives him the Matrix. The transition seems to be causing Optimus some distress, while Rodimus is happy to be good old Hot Rod again.
All right, Hot Rod is back. Let's party!
Optimus Prime then asks for forgiveness as he opens fire on his former comrades. Though he's turned on his friends, he's struggling with each move he makes, all the while muttering about completing the mission. He then initiates an auto-destruct sequence to the mausoleum, leaving his fellow Autobots inside as he flees in his newly completed spacecraft. The Autobots awaken to find themselves on a collision course with the sun.
We're on a collision course with that red sun.
Optimus returns to Cybertron and informs the rest of the Autobots that Rodimus and the others fell victim to the Quintessons, and he resumes command. Grimlock has a tantrum over the bad news.
Quintessons! Me, Grimlock, dump Quintessons flat into ground!
Optimus declares war against the Quintessons. Meanwhile, the other Autobots manage to somehow escape their collision course with the sun and hightail it back to Cybertron. They then learn from the Dinobots that the Autobots are on their way to battle the Quintessons to avenge their deaths. The Autobot Armada receives word that their comrades are in fact alive, not dead. But Optimus Prime insists that it's a trick, and he quickly shuts down any voice of reason. Unfortunately, Optimus is but a mere puppet, his strings being pulled by the Quintessons to lure the Autobots into a deadly trap. Optimus Prime, still struggling from within, experiences moments of regret, the Matrix buzzing inside his chest.
They live.
Rodimus and company are eventually reunited with the other Autobots, and Rodimus heads straight for Optimus Prime for a showdown.
I'm going Optimus hunting!
As Optimus struggles with himself yet again, it's revealed that the Quintessons used him as a vessel, inserting circuit implants to control his body. Although lingering thoughts and memories of the real Optimus Prime remain intact. Though Optimus Prime's body attacks Rodimus, his mind is in opposition. He begs Rodimus to stop him. Rodimus puts up a good fight, but ultimately he's overpowered by Optimus Prime.
If you lose, Autobots, all destroyed!
Just when it seems like all hope is lost, Optimus relents and relinquishes the matrix of leadership back to Rodimus. Optimus Prime's final command is for the remaining Autobot forces to return to Cybertron. Optimus then draws the Quintessons' fire to his flagship and goes out in a blaze of glory. And the Autobots bid fond farewell to their beloved leader, Optimus Prime, yet again.
I don't know if I'll ever be the leader that you were, but for sure, I'm gonna try.
The Transformers will return after these messages. We now return to the Transformers.
The Transformers has an impressive cast of seasoned voice actors, such as Dick Goiter as the Autobots' budding leader Hot Rod Rodimus Prime. Goiter also voiced Serpentor on G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero. John Stevenson as the old warhorse Cup. Stevenson voiced a few other Transformers before providing the voice of Cup. He was also the voice of Bionic 1 on Bionic 6. Jack Angel as the wise warrior Ultra Magnus. Angel was also the voice of Wetsuit on the aforementioned G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero. He was also the voice of Nick Fury on the 1990 Spider-Man the Animated Series. Susan Blue as the tenacious RC. Blue not only voiced RC in the cartoon series, she first voiced the character in the Transformers the movie. While Judd Nelson and Leonard Nimoy respectively voiced Hot Rod and Galvatron in the feature film, Blue, no stranger to voice acting, commendably reprised her role as RC. Blue acted in front of the camera as well. A personal favorite role of hers is in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. She plays Amanda Shepard, the mother of Tina, a telekinetic teen that fights Jason to a standstill. Frank Welker as the evil Decepticon leader Galvatron.
Well, all I can say is...
Welker also voiced Darkseid on the Superpowers Team cartoon series. He also voiced Iceman on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And last but certainly not least, Peter Cullen as the Autobot leader, Optimus Prime.
Autobots, transform! And roll out!
Cullen also voiced Kit's evil counterpart, Carr, on the Knight Rider series. He was also the voice of the evil sorcerer Venger in the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. Much like all 80s cartoons, the Transformers has an absolutely amazing theme song, composed by Johnny Douglas and Robert J. Walsh. The third season featured a more fast-paced version of the theme song featured during the first two seasons. No doubt inspired to kick things up a notch by the hard rock soundtrack featured in the Transformers the movie. Though Dark Awakening is one of my favorite Season 3 episodes of Transformers, it does have a few flaws. For example, when the Autobots are on a collision course with the sun, they suddenly escape without explanation in a spacecraft. Where did this ship come from? Their initial craft was destroyed by the Decepticons. Their escape pod was blown to hell by Galvatron, and was low on life support anyway. And the ship that Optimus Prime built, he fled in after setting the self-destruct sequence, and left them to their ultimate demise. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're making a quick getaway in a spaceship that magically appears. If the mausoleum had a spaceship there, why would Optimus have to build one? There's a quick line of dialogue that's thrown out before the getaway.
Let's just hope this little improvisation gets us home.
But that doesn't explain where the damn ship came from. Another nitpick is when Optimus Prime fires on the other Autobots. He clearly shoots Rodimus full blast in the chest. How the heck did he survive that? It's a bit more plausible that the other Autobots survived. He aimed his laser fire at their feet, but he had Rodimus dead bang. The series starts to play fast and loose when it comes to life and death stakes. In the episode Ghost in the Machine, Starscream, who was blown to bits in the movie by Galvatron, is also resurrected.
You better give me a new body now!
You shall have it.
I live again!
As mentioned, Dark Awakening is a precursor to the actual return of Optimus Prime in the two-parter aptly titled The Return of Optimus Prime.
Our leader is back. Yes, Skylings. And now no force in the universe will stop me.
When I was a kid, I thought Optimus would maybe mentor Rodimus in the form of a spirit, a la Obi-Wan's Force Ghost. After all, it worked for Jaga on the Thundercats. I never thought they'd bring him back as a robo-zombie and then kill him off again. If kids were traumatized by the death of Optimus Prime in the Transformers the movie, the Dark Awakening episode must have scarred them for life. A nice touch in this episode is the memorial plaques in the mausoleum for Ironhide and Ratchet.
Ironhide. Ratchet. Prowl. Huffer.
And I like the sculpting of Optimus Prime's tomb. An endearing moment in the episode was when the Autobots thought that Rodimus and company were dead. RC's other half, Springer, our personal favorite that's criminally underused in this episode, had this reaction.
Those 5 face tentacle slime are gonna pay for this, but good!
I mean it, RC.
I also think the idea of Rodimus feeling the pressure of living up to Optimus Prime's legacy keeps things interesting. The responsibility of Autobot leadership weighs so heavy on his shoulders that at the first sight of Optimus Prime, he's ready to relinquish his command. But when things go awry, he's quick to try and set things right. Rodimus is still learning. He often takes advice from his trusted Autobot comrades Cup and Ultra Magnus, which shows his humility and a willingness to grow. I like the differences between the two Autobot leaders. Optimus was a fully formed, confident leader that as a kid I could look up to and aspire to be, while Rodimus was unsure of himself and felt the burden of responsibility that as a kid I could relate to. I like that Optimus is fighting a battle from within. He's been programmed by the Quintessons to betray his friends, but he's struggling to regain control of his mind and body. In the end, he wins his fight for control and redeems himself, making the ultimate sacrifice like the true hero he is, saving his fellow Autobots. The animation in Dark Awakening isn't as good as other episodes, but I like the story premise despite the aforementioned plot holes. The biggest criticism of most 80s cartoons was that they were 30-minute commercials to sell toys, which is true, but if anyone actually watched the cartoons they were passively dismissing, they might have seen what a lot of us see, that the writers of these beloved animated shows, Transformers especially, did their utmost to write engaging stories that endeared these characters to their young audience. I understand if some fans of the first 2 seasons were put off by the new direction of the series and the death of so many original Autobots, but I really liked the new characters, especially the core group. They really felt like a close-knit team, or a family. I also like the more sci-fi futuristic setting. Whether it's the Hasbro toy line, the Marvel comic books, or the G1 cartoon series, it's always a pleasure whenever I revisit the 1980s Transformers. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cartoon Showcase, and as always, thanks so much for letting your geek flags fly with Mad About Superheroes.
Autobots, transform and mount up!
When Ultra Magnus rolls into action, he takes on Decepticons like no one else.
Meet Ultra Magnus. As car carrier, he can transport 4 Autobots into battle. But once there, he transforms into my powerful Autobot commander.
Transformers!
The Transformers, each sold separately from Hasbro.